certainly got a lot of looks at your kind of not secondary players, second unit, and others. What jumped out for you?
Really jumped out that we had grit during the whole game. Even first half, I thought that we had pretty good fight, and we made a couple of execution mistakes. We missed a lot of wide open shots, but we stayed in the game and we stayed together. So that was a huge positive today. Learning how to, in situations, obviously you never want to be down and chasing opponent, but when those situations happen, learning how to do that and staying in the game and really executing. That's really what stood out to me.
Both Chucky and Elijah seem very pesky defensively, and of course we've seen that from Chet on that end of the ball over the last year or so. You've talked a lot about pressure on the ball, point of attack. To have 3 point guards who do that so well, what kind of luxury is that for you?
For Emmanuel Quickly. So then let's not forget him. Emmanuel Quickly is doing really, really good job in those situations. But just like you mentioned, guys coming off the bench, they just take it another notch more with aggressiveness. Chucky, I thought that he did outstanding job, just always being around the ball. Wherever the ball is, he was there. He was active. He was able to come up with deflections and steals. There's the style how we want to play. We want to be ultra disruptive and to have ball pressure, and that kind of applies for every single player on the team. There is expectations for everybody to play that way.
Early on in the game, it seemed like the first action was Gradey plus something, and he looked dog-tired by the end of his first shift. How important is that for you guys to see him in that type of role and running through everything through to Gradey?
He's a player that plays really well without the ball, just with his movement and cuts and all. Obviously, his ability to shoot the three ball is creating a lot of gravity for us. I think it's very important that his teammates start recognizing all of those situations, because he's not just scoring, he's also very good in playmaking in those situations. And last year, for a big part of the season, he did an outstanding job in playing in those all-ball screens. So that's something that he's got to continue doing in a high level, and we got to learn how to recognize and punish in those situations.
What happened to Colin, and what do you think it was 8 minutes before he got hurt?
He got hit in his elbow. We did X-rays, and results came out clear. And I really liked the effort that he was putting out there as well. What I really respect about him, he is fearless. He's going to go out there and guard anybody in position 1 through 5 and go through the wall type of guy. So I really respect that. Take a look at 2 games before this, he had moments guarding the best player in the world in Nikola Jokic, an all-star in Sabonis, and I was hoping that Jaylen Brown is going to play tonight as well, so he can get a little bit of sniff of that. So, I think he's a young player who's learning on a quick pace right now.
Coach, I was just wondering, what have you seen from Olivier Sarr since the start of the training camp?
Oh, it's interesting you're asking about Olivier with that accent, right? Olivier is a young player, still young player. Unfortunately, he had an injury that kept him off the floor. So we're really focusing to try to help him to find that rhythm back and then to get back in a groove. I think he's a very, very talented player. I think he can do a lot of things, that he's a good roller. He's very confident and good three-point shooter as well. He's somebody that can play above the rim. So there are a lot of intangibles that he brings to the table, and we're looking forward to have him on our team.
What about, one more. Scotty and Yak, is there a chance on Sunday, or?
There is a chance. There is a chance.
When you found out that the starters were not going to be playing today, I mean, you've got to feel like a pretty good opportunity for someone in your position to get some minutes and kind of show what you've been maybe showing behind the scenes so far.
Yeah, most definitely. When I saw that, I knew it was an opportunity for me to step up. Luckily for me, I came into a great organization, a great group of guys who are just leaders on the floor and off the floor. And, it's great to be able to go to your teammates and vets and, just talk to them and ask them what they see on the floor. And, when you have vets like that, it just makes it a whole lot easier for you.
It seems like what Darko is preaching defensively sort of fits in really well with, what you want to do. How intense sort of is the pressure compared to what you've done before that he's asking?
It's not nothing different. You know, I'm still playing my game. You know, this is how I got Defense Player of the Year in the ACC last year, and you know, I just gotta apply it every game and every night and be the main aggressor every night.
A couple other young guards, and Jamal and Elijah, who also have similar defensive backgrounds. Just how competitive is it between you guys in practice?
Oh, it's so competitive. You know, I remember watching Jamal shed his senior year at Houston, and you know, going into my senior year, you know, my coaches talked to me about that's the standard to go play like. You know, go play like Jamal shed, and you know, you're going to earn yourself opportunity at the highest level. And you know, ultimately, that's what I did. And you know, now I'm able to come play against Jamal shed, and you know, guys like Elijah Martin, who's just won a national championship, and you know, it's a blessing to be able to come into this organization and play with and behind guys like that.
Obviously, when Mogul came in, the pressure is able to go up to kind of another level between him, CMB, Scotty. What's it like to play pressure as the first guy, but then have that type of backing at the 2 and the 3?
Man, it's so nice, especially our type of defense. You know, we just help each other out. You know, if one guy gets beat, you know, we help the other man out, and you know, it's amazing to play with teammates like that. You know, that's something I love playing. Like, you know, just all over the place. You know, just playing hard as you can for as long as you're on the court, and then you come off, and you know, the next group of guys are coming in playing the same way. So, you know, that's what we're about.
Finishing was pretty good today. Swim move, step over. How do you feel? A lot of different scoring.
Felt good. You know, just, you know, when you come into a new season, you know, it's good to go out and watch things that you wanted to work on in the past season, and you get to do that in the off season. So I'm just going out there knowing that when I have space on the floor to do that, you know, I can. But ultimately, doing what the team needs is important, and I feel like just trying my best to keep the team in that position, you know, and at the end of the day, it wasn't really me at all, you know, that got the win. It was the other guys at the end that got stop after stop after stop, so pretty fun one today.
Gradey, I mean, what's it been like for you adjusting to being likely part of the second unit versus starting games? How's that different for you?
Oh, just preparation at the end of the day. I don't really change how I prepare. Only thing is if it's a different team, you know, you prepare a different way, I guess, for who you're playing. But, you know, personally and like my routines and everything like that on the daily, I do the same things that I've been doing since probably middle school. Probably a little upgraded, but yeah, you know, I feel like when I do that and I feel, you know, mentally just in control of, you know, what I can control, and then I don't really worry about things that are, you know, out of my control.
There is a lot of competition for minutes at your position in this roster. It's been a good thing during the camp for you guys?
Of course. I think we talked about a little in training camp of just lifting that competitive, you know-ness up. And I feel like it's easy to get complacent if, you know, no one's trying to, you know, come at you. So every team has it, and when you play that way, you know, you play like, you know, it's your job at the end of the day. You're going against each other off the court, you're best friends. On the court, you know, you want to just make each other better, so that's what we're doing.
Are you finding adding extra strength benefiting you out there?
Of course, yeah. I'm still only 21, so got to keep it going. But yeah, just daily stuff where, you know, I can kind of feel that when I'm, you know, taking it to the basket, and kind of the core strength, I guess, in a way that's just a little different. But yeah, I'm just, you know, a lot more work to do.
That second unit feels like it's developing a lot of chemistry. It was the starting unit tonight, but like, what is the thing about that group that kind of makes it work so well together?
I always just say it's what we do off the court and how our relationships are, how close we are, and we just have a lot of fun, you know, in the same room. And I feel like when you have that chemistry already built, you know, it's easy to go on the court and kind of know what each other, you know, do as players. Obviously, you need to, you know, get on the court and play together. But at the same time, when you have relationships, you know, personalities of guys, where they like to catch the ball, how they like where their spots are to shoot, it's easier, quicker, and getting ready for this season.
The mustache, good look.
No, Darko said he liked it, so I was like, might as well just keep it for a little bit. Can't see it probably from here. It's blonde, but yeah, got it going.
Me too.